Hello everyone, happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel. This is Joey, the Veiled Cottage Witch, and this is another episode of my magical plant series. Today we're going to talk about Marjoram, this little guy right here. So the Latin name for Marjoram is Origanum majorna or Origanum vulgare. So they have a couple of different species, and I'm not 100% sure what species this little guy is. However, here we are. So it doesn't have a whole lot of room to grow, and that may be my fault. I totally didn't expect it to get very big. And we'll see. Its counterpart, oregano, got really big, and when we get there, I'll show you it's enormous. So the folk name for Marjoram is Joy of the Mountain, Knotted Majoran, Majorlane, Mountain Mint, Pot Marjoram, Sweet Marjoram, and Winter Sweet. The gender is masculine, the element is air, the planet is Mercury, and the day of the week it is most potent is Wednesday. So there's a lot of folklore for Marjoram. I love digging into the lore of all of these plants because I think that's where we find the most of our magical and medicinal uses. So I love that part of it. I think that tells us more than any correspondences that we can find in any books. So the ancient Greeks believed that Marjoram helped heal one from poison, convulsions, and edema. And they called this herb Joy of the Mountain, and they crowned young couples with it during wedding ceremonies because it was believed that Marjoram helped to nurture love. So that tells us a lot of what Marjoram was known for. You could add it to food to promote civility. So I could see cooks adding it to their favorite dishes. If they were having a family gathering and they knew certain people didn't get along, they would just add some Marjoram to make sure that everybody kept the peace, right? So in another coin, young women would place Marjoram under their pillows at night, believing that the herb would reveal their future husbands in their dreams. So this comes up a lot for a lot of herbs, dreaming of the lover that they're supposed to have. They believed that herbs had a lot of power over their dreams. So you'll hear this a lot of herbs and dreaming about their future husbands or their future wives. I find that very interesting. Now in England, Marjoram was used to add a minty flavor to tobacco and also to add to beer as a preservative. So I think that's very interesting. Many people believe that if Marjoram grew on your grave, you would have happiness in heaven. I thought that's where we were supposed to go to have eternal happiness, but we're going with it. When mixed together, violets and Marjoram were worn during the winter months as a charm against colds and flu. So I bet that would smell lovely too. Violets just smell wonderful. All right, now let's go to the magical uses. We're going to move right in. Grown in the garden, it offers shielding against evil. It brings happiness to those who are in situational depression. So this is not generalized depression, this is situational depression. So think about grief, losing one's job, having to move around, that kind of depression, not anything major. It was used in money spells to protect from harm, for spells to enhance love in a marriage or partnership, again going back to the folklore. It helps lift grief and sorrow, deflects bad luck by placing the leaves in various rooms of a home or business, and then obviously replacing them every month to charge and retain their power. I would recommend doing this on a new moon, just because fresh new moon, fresh new herbs. Marjoram can be incorporated into charms and spells to draw love and bring fertility. If I'm doing a fertility spell for anything to bring a new life into this world, a new job, what have you, Marjoram goes directly into that spell, whether it be a sachet or a candle spell or a potion, what have you. It's helpful in keeping relationships positive and happy. So we have a visitor. Hi, Diego. Hi. She likes to have her time in the sun. It's useful in relieving worries, especially used in a ritual bath. So you can get a little tea bag or a tea ball or even like a little muslin sack and tie it tight with marjoram in it. Put it directly in a bath or a shower, and it helps to relieve that worry, relieve that anxiety or stress in a bath or a shower. Now we're going to move to medicinal uses. Marjoram is anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antioxidant. So it helps with digestion, flatulence, and stomach cramps. It is great for coughs, colds, runny noses. It helps with hormonal balance, especially for women. And one study found that marjoram tea improved insulin sensitivity and reduced adrenal and androgens in women with polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. That's very hopeful. I know a lot of women, including my wife, have this issue. So that's very encouraging. Now, marjoram oil can help reduce stress and anxiety and may help with insomnia and situational depression when diffused in a room. And it can be used topically to relieve muscle aches, sprains, and bruising. And marjoram may help lower blood sugar, but should be taken with caution, as it may cause blood sugar to drop too low when taken with other diabetic medications. Now on to my personal uses. Like I said before, fertility spells, grief spells, and antidepressant sachets always get marjoram. But I also use it in prosperity spells, because I feel like with prosperity spells always comes that added anxiety, that added depression. We're worried about bills. We're worried about making ends meet. There's always that added anxiety. There's always that added, how am I going to make rent? How am I going to make car payments? How am I going to make bills? So adding that little bit of marjoram, that little bit of that anti-anxiety doesn't hurt one bit. So we have to think about these things when we are making our formulas, because it's not just about, when we're doing money spells, it's not just about getting that money. It's about also relieving that stress. I also use it in my spirit guide veiling spray, you know, because it has this aura of safety about it. I just feel safe with Marjoram. It just feels like a hug to me, that scent. It's also in my sleepy time spray because, again, that safety, that security, it makes me go night-night. Yeah, that's generally where I go when I'm using Marjoram. I don't use it a lot. It's still just a little guy over here. It's not one of the plants that I utilize and work with in a grand scale. I try not to use too much of it because it is in short supply, if that makes sense. A note, if you watched my video last week on fennel, I have cocoons. So my caterpillars are all gone on my fennel, and now I have cocoons. I can see a couple right there. So I will soon have black swallowtail butterflies. I'm so excited. I'm going to try to catch some pictures, and I'll put them up on my Facebook and my Instagram when that happens. But I'm so excited. I know a couple of you left comments on that video. And if you didn't catch my fennel video, you can catch that up on my channel. I am breeding black swallowtail butterflies with my fennel plant. So check that out. Check that video out on the Magical Plant series on fennel, and you'll get to see the big fat caterpillars that will soon turn into black swallowtail butterflies. So you can purchase my herbal products, my spirit guide veiling spray and my sleepy time spray, and all of my herbal products at my website at theveiledcottagewitch.com. Make sure you put the code word veiled, VEILED, all caps, to get free shipping. But you can pick it up here at the cottage. That's the cottage right there. Anytime, just send me a message with your order. And that's all I have for you today. So for now, live your best life and live for yourself. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.